Welcome to another episode of the Talking Clock podcast. Today we're sitting down with Kevin to talk about how he got into watches, as well as his adventures buying from the grey market. Ryan also joins as a co-host. Please use chapters to skip to the topics you want to hear about. Enjoy. Yeah, so I suppose to kick things off, I'll just start off with the very, very boring question of how did you get into watches in the first place?
I think it's just basically like social media, right? Like it's just I was just looking at like Instagram and see people like posting their Pateks, their Rolexes in 2016, 2017. And just got in. My parents got me a Rolex Just 41 Rhodium, I think.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Then was wearing that for quite a while. Then like when you get into Rolex, you kind of dig a deeper rabbit hole. And you see like all the other stuff that's available, but before that you're like, oh, Rolex is like the best, man.
So it's a fluted bezel, Jubilee
fluted
bracelet.
bezel, rhodium dial, Jubilee bracelet. Yeah.
Oh, that's the perfect.
Then from there,
Wait, so you started watches in like 2016 or so?
thereabouts, yeah.
So before like the prices went?
Yeah. But I think like that was the time where like prices started to creep up a little
Started
bit,
to creep up already.
but not too crazy. Because like when you walked into like a boutique or like an 80, you still see like Rolexes there.
Yep.
So it's
That's
a bit,
true.
yeah.
That was before the
It's
gold
nowhere as
craze,
crazy
yeah.
as like 2019, I think.
Yep.
Right? Yeah, so like from there it's went like crazy, right? Like get like I think I went from like that to like a Daytona, and then to,
Steel?
like, yeah, like
Panda?
no,
Before
it's
the
like a
Panda.
two-tone. I think it was a two-tone.
Okay.
I've never owned a Panda.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so from there like I got like a couple of Oaks, and then it just went nuts. Basically like everyone else. Right?
Yep.
Yeah. Then I'm curious because I suppose that you were collecting during a time when prices were kind of more reasonable.
Yeah.
Back in 2016
Yeah.
and basically pre-COVID, I suppose.
Yeah.
What is your biggest regret or like something that either you sold or you had the chance to buy and didn't buy it? Just one watch.
I
if
think it
any.
would be like the DB28.
Oh,
kind of
wow.
blue. Yeah, because there was
Same
one,
as Edwards.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So like basically I had the chance of getting it at like 70 plus
Okay.
in 2018, at the start of 2018, and then like
Is that under retail?
a lot
Way
a
under
lot
retail.
under
I see,
retail. I think
I
it's
see.
like
Way under
50% below
Yes.
retail.
Okay.
around there.
And then like because at that point in time like spending like 80k on ND is like a bit
It's a big
crazy,
amount.
right? Yeah, because
back
like
then.
it's hard to move, right? Back then at least.
Yep.
So like
Yeah. Also, no one really knows about
No.
everything back then.
So like there's this guy that's like selling it. Tried to I offered him like 80 or below that. Then
Yep.
like he didn't want it. So like I didn't push him enough. And then a couple of months ago, someone else got it. So
I
like,
see.
and then like I think a year after it was like 150k or something.
Oh, that's
Like
a big
29,
jump.
basically
Super
the end of
fast. That's a jump.
2019, 2020. That's where like DB went crazy.
I think maybe like listed prices. Because Edward, he bought his, I think around 90 plus. But the
Yeah.
listing was like way
Might
over
be the
100,
same
right?
piece though.
Could even
Could
be
have been the same
guy,
piece, yeah, the
maybe.
carousel piece. So like,
But yeah, just never moved.
that's like a crazy watch, man. For me at least. Yeah.
Is that the Starry's guy?
Nope.
No. It's just kind of blue. Just the
Okay,
whole
okay.
blue titanium
Oh,
case.
okay.
Yeah.
I see.
It's pretty loud though.
Yep.
Yeah. So like,
No, but a watch that is a lot of fun.
yeah.
Yeah. Then I remember this is something I want to get into because I feel like there aren't too many people with good experience of carousel or carousel.
Oh, shit, man.
But yeah, I remember, well, we were talking off camera about this, or
Yep.
you were messaging me about it last week.
Yep.
But yeah, you said that your friend bought a fake sub.
They brought a fake clock basically.
Oh, a fake
And
hole.
like because we didn't check the watch basically like properly, like it was very rushed, so like the guy basically quote unquote scammed us.
So he probably knew it was fake. Just wanted a quick deal.
That's what I think, right? That's what I
Yep.
think. So basically what happened was we bought the watch and then had it checked. Even dealers thought it was real, but then after that like checked a couple of times, and then you had to compare it like the actual genuine piece, and then we actually knew that it was like fake, right?
But
And
he was the one that arranged to go to the dealers.
And I saw the watch
Yep.
like in person, right? A pretty good fake. I mean, because it's not really a fake, right? It's like half fake. half genuine.
So
like,
what exactly was fake about it, or and
think
what
it
was
was, like,
genuine?
fake bracelet, real case, real movement, fake dial, fake crystal. I
Okay,
think.
so it's like a very monstrosity mix of
But
things.
like, because I already knew it was fake, so like I could kind of tell something was off with the watch. But like, if had I not known that it was fake, I might have just thought it was like genuine, right?
But do you think the dealers were in on it as well when he brought it to the dealers to check?
No, I don't think so. Definitely not. So like, quite scary, especially for Rolex, right? Because like, there's a lot of fakes out there, and surprisingly, I mean, like, because we've seen enough, like people like me, we've seen enough Rolexes already. I mean, maybe not as much as like actual dealers, right? But like,
Right.
when we look at these pieces and it looks scarily good, right? Like, I think like it could happen to like the best of us. Like most of us wouldn't have known it's fake.
Yep.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
if
like-
dealers are saying it's real,
Yeah,
yeah, it's hard to guarantee.
you have to like open it up, check like 1-to-1 with like the
Yeah.
actual real thing.
Is it your first time coming
Yeah,
across a case like this?
first time, yeah.
Like a fake
I
sort
mean,
of Rolex?
I've had like a deal before, like a few years ago, where I was like, someone was trying to sell me a fake Daytona, but that one was like evidently fake.
Okay, right.
Oh,
You see
okay.
it, was like freaking rubbish, man.
Okay.
But like, this one was like really good.
He put in effort to fake it.
Yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. Like, you
right.
wouldn't like doubt him.
Yep.
right?
But then everything ended, I guess, not positively, but
Oh, for
still got the money
You
back.
still got the money
everything.
back, so it's still okay. But like, it's a pretty scary situation to be in.
Okay.
Like, so like, I don't know. I mean, like, I wouldn't suggest people just like buying Rolexes on like Carousel. I feel, at least from people who don't have like a lot of reviews, I suppose.
But this specific guy, we're not gonna name him, but he was quite popular or no? Okay, just a random,
No. Like,
totally random.
0 reviews. Like,
Okay.
I've not done. I have not dealt with anyone before.
Okay.
Not with that account, at least.
Yep,
right?
yep.
So pretty
Then-
sketchy, man.
Then I guess like sometimes you yourself like do make like impulse purchases on like
for sure.
secondhand or on gray market. Then like what sort of measures do you take when you like go into those purchases? I mean, is there really, or is it even like a concern? Let's say that you're buying like a IWC or like a Cartier or a brand that is not like Rolex level of like how commonplace they are.
Yeah.
Like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like how do you go about it?
To be honest, it's just based on trust, man.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you just trust the seller. You just look at the watch. I mean, like, if everything checks out with the papers and everything, I just get it, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
I mean, like, maybe it's complacency, but like, it's not worth like the watches I get that I'm not really like meticulous about, because like you don't really see fakes. with the phone.
Right.
Like, I mean, like GLCs, like IWCs, it's not worth like faking them, right?
Bro, I love those brands.
Yeah, I love this brand as well, bro. But it's like
kidding.
not worth faking them for like the mainstream, right?
Yeah.
There's not enough flex in the IWC.
Yeah, but
fake.
then again, like, if you're talking about Lange, if you're talking about like Patek, AP, like, you can't really get like those brands as well, because the fakes are really horrible, right? So like,
There's only so much you can fake, right?
yeah, for sure. Like, if you've like touched the real, like the genuine oak before, like, you're not gonna get conned into like getting a fake one,
Like a Royal Oak would still be hard.
because it's hard, man.
Yep,
Like, the
yep.
finishing is hard. Like it might look like 95% close, but like when you touch them, you see that the finishing is a bit rough,
Yep.
I feel, right? And the movement is like, the watch is really thick. They put like a 2824 movement inside, sandwich it with like a really badly done base plate.
Right.
And that's
right.
basically like a replica oak. Yeah,
Wow.
so- but I don't think people actually sell fake oaks, purporting them to be like real.
Because I guess one look and you can see
From like
from the back,
any
at
normal
least
guy.
from the
lah.
back.
Yeah, for
right,
sure,
right,
yeah.
right. But do you think there's quite a few fakes walking around the streets?
For sure, yeah. I think there's a lot, man. Like,
Right.
I saw one in the train a couple
Oh,
of days
wow.
ago. Yeah.
What
It's
was
a guy
it?
wearing like fake 5711. Yes, the blue was really bright. It's like a 5740 blue. And it was
see,
like
I see.
thick, like really thick. But
Is
it's like
is
a
the piece unique?
5711. Maybe, yeah, maybe. Maybe it's like off catalog, right? Maybe it's like 57.
Is the watches in Singapore piece unique?
5711-2 or something. But yeah,
Like
so
the
like,
perpetual.
The perpetual piece unique.
The bracelet was in two-tone.
that's horrible, bro.
But do you have any advice for, let's say, first time watch purchasers who they can't get it from an AD, they have to resort to the markets?
I think like go to like a reputable dealer.
That's still
I
safer
think
than
that's the
buying
best,
private,
man.
right?
Yeah, I think that's the best because like there's a lot of inherent like risks involved in like dealing by yourself on Carousel. Right? Because if you get scammed, like what are you gonna do about it? You're meant to check before, right? You're meant to check the watch before the transaction already happened. Like
Yeah, they can push the liability on you.
oh yeah, for sure. Like you might drop the watch or something.
Yep.
Right? So yeah, wouldn't recommend Carousel.
But even with dealers, like I've wondered about this before. Say like, something were to go wrong, like I consign something and they run off. Like, I mean,
Yep.
let's say even within Singapore, it's not foolproof. Like we had the whole the Trade Nation thing, but I guess it still gives you like more peace of mind, or like I suppose there are some dealers out there, and some dealers are really quite reputable.
Sure.
They've been in the business for a while.
Sure. I think if you have like a shop front, people like kind of just feel a bit easier.
The confidence, right?
Yeah, I mean you're not gonna run the next day, right?
Yep,
It's a bit hard to run away like pack
In
up
Singapore,
shop.
it's quite hard to run.
It's hard, yeah.
I mean, just don't run to JB, I guess. So.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, there was a case in the US, right? Like the timepiece gentleman or something like that, where they had.
It was a prank though, right?
Oh, that one I didn't follow.
I
I just
know.
heard
Was
there
it
was
like
a
a
big
publicity thing or something like that?
Yeah. Publicity stunt or something.
Right. So everyone was like
They
panicking.
ran for like a couple of days and
Right.
then they came back. Then everyone was like, "What the fuck happened?" Right?
What kind of prank is this?
Yeah.
Then
I
sometimes
remember
like you buy gray in like locally within Singapore. Have you ever bought gray from outside of Singapore?
Yeah, for sure. I've even brought like a couple of stuff from Chrono.
Okay. Oh wow. Directly from Chrono, or do you just like find the listings and like message them directly?
Find the listings, message them, and just ship it over.
Okay.
Like from like vintage oaks, 5402s and stuff like that.
Oh wow, you had those as well.
Didn't turn out well though.
Okay. What happened, if you don't mind?
If I'm not wrong, one of them was polished to the point where it looks really different from the one I saw on the listing. So it might have been a different watch, or they just had it like super polished,
Okay.
third party polished. And then one of them came with like a fake bracelet, if I'm not wrong.
Wow.
Yeah.
Then in cases like that, where obviously they're overseas,
Yes.
like basically as far as away from Singapore as you can get, like how do you go about like resolving that?
You can technically get refunded from Chrono, but you still lose the value in like the shipping and everything.
But
It's
you
quite a
dealt
fair
with
bit
Chrono?
because you gotta pay tax, right?
Yeah.
So like you lose like, for like 100,000 watch,
Yep.
probably still lose like 10k.
Wow.
Right.
That's a
In
big
some
headache.
cases, you
Yeah.
probably can't get it back as well.
Yep. Have you had cases like that where a watch just?
I've managed to get my refunds, but I've lost money on the tax. I think I've had like one where I couldn't get a refund. Probably like a 14790.
Right.
Yeah, one of the vintage pieces.
But I
So I
do
have to
remember,
say-
I think, was it not? He was explaining, I vaguely remember, but yeah, I think the tax thing comes to mind. I believe
Yeah.
like he made some purchase like from overseas dealer, like it didn't go well, but like the loss on tax is
You still
something
gotta
that,
pay the tax, yeah.
is that you can't, really work your way around it. Okay.
So that's one thing. But I think it's because you're still going through like Chrono, right? You're still going through the escrow service.
Yep.
So you gotta pay the tax. But like if you wanna evade that,
How about the fees?
I think the fees is like kinda included in the listing price.
Oh,
probably.
okay.
That's why they're all listed like
At the
fairly
premium,
high,
right?
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
for a 90k watch, they're listing like 110,
Yep.
for example.
And then
right?
platform fees is
Yeah.
like 6%.
Quite high.
Okay.
Quite high.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean there's a lot of risk dealing like especially Chrono. Especially not locally, right? Because you have no control.
Yep. Any cases where you've gotten, sort of scammed, like the watch didn't come up when you purchase it through Chrono, and then just nothing comes up?
No. So far, no.
Everything's been
So
sent.
far, no.
Okay.
So far.
That's good.
But then again, like I don't really buy on Chrono anymore, so I think it's like too much of a risk. Like, and you have to spend a lot of money, right? I mean, like most of the time, like even like 20k.
Yep. I mean,
And the
20k
watch-
is still 20k.
Yeah, the watch
right?
doesn't come. You're just like, okay, you're not gonna get the money back. Or maybe even if you do, like the amount of work you gotta put in to get the money back is
Not worth it.
doesn't warrant that, right?
Then I'm curious, like as someone who's both bought like Singapore and like bought from overseas as well,
Yep.
and I guess like even now, you still look at prices
Obviously.
or how prices are.
Yep.
How do you think like Singapore is in terms of like the watch market, in terms of like buying, selling in Singapore? Are there things that, are priced lower here than they are overseas? Or, are there things that sell better here than overseas as well?
I think like the mainstream stuff sells easier here. Like, I mean, like the usual suspects, right? like Rolex, Patek. RM is a bit hard to say, so I don't really know much about RM. But like for Rolex, Patek, maybe VC, they're fairly easy to move in Singapore.
VC as well.
Fairly
now.
easy to move, as in like they're not easy to move,
But
but
they still move.
They still
if-
move.
Yeah, okay. If the
relative
price is
to
right.
everything else. Like I mean, if you try to sell like an IWC, or if you try to sell like a JLC or something,
Yep.
you're gonna be really hard pressed to like
Right.
even get like offers, right? If you get offers, you're gonna get like really disrespectful offers.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Singapore lacks diversity, if that makes sense, in the grey market.
Because I've seen like some independent pieces, like what is that trader at Far East Plaza,
Yeah.
the one
Timco?
like Timco, yeah.
Timco, yeah.
Like he's had this like Groenfeld
Groenfeld,
there.
Curry,
That's
collab.
like been there forever. I
Yeah,
swear
yeah.
I went there like a year plus ago. I
Yeah,
saw the
yeah.
same watch, and the other day I see like another collector going there to view the same watch. I'm like, you know, it's a Kari dial. It's not the nicest Kari dial in the world.
Yep.
Nowhere near.
That's a
but
repertoire.
yeah, it's a repertoire. The case back is nice.
Yep.
I think the pricing is quite crazy
It's
though.
crazy. Yeah.
But you know, things like that just like are hard to move. I think even Urworks, if you look back, maybe even last year, like last 2 years, they've been listing for Urworks that have been there like
Yeah.
ages,
Yeah.
or like MBNFs, you know, stuff like that. I guess Singaporeans or people here just feel more comfortable buying like, I think Patek Rolex
Yeah.
number 1, number 2, or sorry, other way around. But how about EPs then nowadays?
I think they're fairly soft, to be honest. I mean, they're still like most of them are still selling at like premium,
Okay.
but like the premiums that people want for them, they're not moving, right?
They're still living in the 2 years ago.
Yeah, but
pricing.
I guess it makes sense because like if you have to bundle a ton of shit, you get like just a 15.510, for example.
Right,
like
right,
you're not gonna burn your bridge just
Right.
to make like 10k.
Yeah.
So I guess it makes sense in that way. But like on the other hand, like as a buyer, you wouldn't want to spend that much for something that's like non-limited, right? Easy, quote unquote, easy to get, right?
I think during the peak is fine, but now that
Yeah.
things have come down a bit.
I mean,
it's-
everybody's like complacent when everything's going up.
Yeah.
Like when the market's soft, like people just get a bit more rational in that sense. I mean, like you
More
wouldn't want to
fearful.
buy like a steel non-com like sports watch for like 70k.
Yep.
When you can get like an annual calendar like a Patek annual calendar
Yep.
for like 70k.
But no one knows. No one
Fair
sees
enough.
it.
I
and
guess
knows.
I guess
That's
it,
what people
I guess
buy,
it depends on your values as well, what
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
looking
yeah.
for, right?
I mean, even when the John Mayer discontinued, you see Carousel was like bang, like
Yeah, but they're not
150
moving.
listings worth.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
like a
There's
lot.
so many of them,
Yeah,
right? And
all
they're
of them
like,
came
oh yeah,
out of the blue.
150k.
I wonder now, maybe there's a bunch of like meteorites on market too. Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I haven't
I
checked.
haven't But yeah, I remember there was a period of time before it got announced that it was discount that
Yep.
because everything came down, and even like meteorite Daytona prices, they weren't that high.
No.
So
No.
yeah.
Now it's pretty high, I think, right? It's like 160 or some shit.
Oh wow,
Just
that's
because of the
very
discount,
high.
I think, yeah.
But it could be just like one or two guys just randomly like posting it high.
I mean, yeah. Likewise, 1 or 2 guys
Slap on the
posting
word
something.
discount.
low.
Guys, yeah.
And 160.
Discount rare, bro. Quote unquote rare.
Yeah.
To be fair, it's a lot rarer than John Mayer.
Of course.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's a lot of fake dials as well, right? For John Mayer.
Yeah. I mean, even for meteorites.
Oh
Custom
yeah,
dials,
yeah.
right?
That's true.
Custom
That's
dials,
true. That's
like,
true. That's
It's
true.
scary because like even stone dials, you can easily fake them.
Yep.
I mean, like maybe because I'm not at that level to like discern whether it's like authentic or not,
Yep.
right? But yeah, that's a lot.
Then, so for reference, I think for people that don't know, for a living, you're like a trader,
Yeah.
right? For like equities and that sort of thing. So when you're looking at like watch purchases, especially maybe like on gray or whatever it is, do you factor that in as in like, you know, liquidity or like value, or how important is that sort of thing for
sure.
you when you like look at a watch?
For sure, yeah. I mean, like, if you're looking at something like, it depends on the price quantums, right? If you're looking at something for like 10, 20k,
Yep.
like you can kind of like, you know, it's fine. Like if I like the watch, it's fine. If I can like move it, it's fine. But if you're looking at like a QP or like a Torque or something, like 200,000-300,000, you gotta make sure that like what I'm getting is easy to liquidate as well, even at a loss,
Yep.
right? But like you don't want to lose too much.
Of course.
So like you gotta make sure that if you're spending a lot, like if it's taking out a lot of your liquidity, you gotta make sure that it moves fairly easily. In any case, if you need your money back, right?
Yep,
You always gotta factor in like the worst case. So that's what I look at, and then I look at like value. So like I said before, right? Like 70K for like a stainless steel oak is a bit hard for me to like fathom. But if it's like a 5960 G, I think that's fair. Right, you get an annual calendar, chrono, white gold. That's fine. 70 plus K. Okay, cool.
That's kind of like a value.
It is.
Of course.
It is. And you feel like inherently like it shouldn't drop as much as compared to whatever steel non-comp.
It's still an annual chrono.
Yeah.
In precious metal.
Exactly. And the people typically who are buying that aren't like exactly like speculating on the watch as well.
Yep. Right.
Then out there in the market right now, is there anything that you look at and you think to yourself like, wow, that's not bad value? Or things that, I know you picked up some stuff recently, 5205.
5205G.
Things like that. Is there anything else that you look at currently and you'd say, yeah, that's a good buy now? Or, I guess we're recording this mid-April-ish.
Yep.
I think many people people looking ahead are like, I think largely expecting a recession of some kind.
Yep.
Do you look at that and also say like, okay, right, hands off now, let's see how things go? Or
I think on big pieces, I'm just like, just waiting and seeing what's gonna happen. Because like, I'm not like saying prices are gonna dump or anything, but like, I think like the market is just gonna be soft for quite a while.
Yep.
Right. We don't know whether prices are gonna increase rapidly or is it gonna like crash and let's slide down like 50% or something. But like, I think like when you're thinking about getting like a $300,000 watch, for example, like I think it's just better to be careful in like current conditions. So like,
I think even 100,000.
Even 100,000, yeah. I think like
quite iffy
even
about
100K,
it, right?
like it depends on what you're getting as
Of
well,
course.
though, right?
Yep,
like
yep.
if it's like a 57, 40, 100, like
Okay,
people
then
are still gonna steal it,
just
right?
gonna
They're just gonna
snap it
take
up,
it,
yep,
yeah.
yep.
So like for me, like I'm basically just looking at like 57, 40s, hype stuff. I mean, they're typically hype stuff, but like at like reasonable prices.
But on the note of liquidity or being easy to move, wouldn't you also say that, the higher the price of a watch is, I feel like beyond the 100K mark or about that, in Singapore at least, it really becomes quite hard to move. It's almost like a mentality thing where it's like, oh, over the like 6-figure mark, it's like a bit hard. Or do you feel that at all?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like just looking at raw numbers, like if you cross like 100 or like 75 or something, it's typically going to be like harder to move.
Okay.
But then again, you got to see like what you're getting as well. Like I said, right? Like if you're getting like a 300K watch for like 150, they're generally easier to move relative to like whatever else, and like on a value proposition standpoint.
Right. Like not a Grubo for say. Or,
oh yeah, for sure. Those are hard, man. Those are hard. Nice watches though.
Yeah, nice watches for sure. Then like as someone who's like bought so much from Gray, or I know like you buy some from boutique, but brand boutiques are kind of like a different thing. But have you ever considered like buying from authorized dealers like a Cortina or Hourglass?
I have, but like I think like my main gripe with them is just I just don't want to get pushed into getting stuff I just don't want.
Right.
They're gonna take up space. You use up your liquidity. You're not gonna wear them. I think it's like pretty sinful to like buy watches you don't wear anyway, and you're just gonna have to sell them anyway. So might as well just not get them.
Yep.
So I feel like buying Gray, if you know how to get them and where to get them, it's just like you remove that aspect of baggage that you have if you actually have to buy them like from 80s.
And it's not instant, right? Even if you
buy
for
sure,
something,
so you still gotta wait anyway,
you still gotta wait for. You don't even know how long you have to wait most of the time.
So I just prefer that. Like it gives me the peace of mind, and you don't have to waste like more money on stuff you don't want.
Right.
Maybe because I don't have enough money.
No, I think you do have enough.
Or maybe I'm just like just because like I think we're just more practical now when the market is not just like going up and then everyone's just like bundling stuff. So like people are like thinking like, am I gonna buy this like 200,000 Frank Muller and lose like 70%, 80% just to get something that might only hold its value? Doesn't make sense.
I think the time thing, especially now that markets have come down, is especially important. I'm sure that there are people out there who entered into bundles when obviously the market is up.
That's good, yeah.
But because like these things can often take like so long to fulfill, like an Odysseus, for example, by the time you actually get the watch that you are gunning for, things could have come down by so much already, where not only are you losing money, but maybe by that time, like, you can't really even sell.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's not especially
Like,
desirable.
people are just scared, right? Like, no one knows what's gonna happen in like 6 months. Like, if you had factored in the bundle like 3 months ago, you would have made money, right?
Right.
Paper money, right? But
Yeah.
like 3 months after, like, your bundles dropped and your main stuff also dropped, right? And then you probably, like, instead of making like 10 or 20k, you probably have lost like 70k or something. So, like, no one actually knows what's gonna happen. So I think like that uncertainty is like stopping people from like committing to bundles.
The second episode with Kevin will dive into his diverse watch collection. Do subscribe so you don't miss it. Thank you for watching.